Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Herpanwo TV on VidMe. This particular film is only going to be available on VidMe. I'm not going to upload it to YouTube. Sorry about that, but it's just I've got too much on YouTube now, and I've got too many comments to reply to. So I'm afraid you're going to have to come here and watch it. Now I know most of you on YouTube know I have a VidMe channel now, so you're probably going to find this. Also, I know a lot of you follow the Herpanwo TV website, and there will be a link to this particular film on that website. Okay. Right, Tony Blair, yes, former Prime Minister and former chairperson of the Fabian Society. Yes, didn't know that, did you? Yes, he's the former chairperson of the Fabian Society, cultural Marxist think tank, Britain's Frankfurt School. Yes, messing with your heads. Yes, that Fabian Society. Current chairperson is Ed Miliband, interestingly. So, spot a connection here, I think. Anyway, Tony Blair. I despise him, I really do. And I didn't think it was possible for me to despise him more than I already did. But I do. Blair, he lied to the public to start a war in the Middle East. A war which he boasts only killed 100,000 people. He actually said that. He actually said that on a news programme. He was talking to the presenter and he said, this person, the news presenter said, trying to claim that 500,000 people have been, innocent people have been killed in the hostilities in Iraq and Afghanistan. And he said, it's only 100,000. And he smiled. Anyway, he gave a speech to the Open Britain campaign group. And he was fawned over by the person introducing him, and everyone gave him a big round of applause. It was absolutely sickening to watch. The Open Britain campaign group is this. How do they describe themselves? Well, I've got their website up here. Here we go. Yes. Oh yeah. Open Britain is a cross-party grassroots campaign that believes Britain is stronger in Europe. We are leading the fight against a hard, destructive Brexit. About who are we? And there's a load of different people here. Yes. Oh, dear. Chuka Uma's member. Nick Clegg. Oh, dearie me. Anna Soubry, of course. All the names I'd expect. Kenneth Clark's not there. David Lammy. That's a big surprise. But I bet they're fellow travellers. I know they're fellow travellers. Anyway, yes, that's the organisation that Blair was addressing. And these people are quite happy to bring in this mass murdering war criminal into their midst to do a lecture. Right. Well, the speech he gave will one day get an award, because at some point someone's going to set up an accolade that people can be decorated for the very, very best Ramoning. It is the absolute Oscar winner of Ramoning. Blair really is the epitome of the new left, this guy. He talks about democracy. He mentioned democracy several times in his speech, and he just like the rest of the new left, he loves democracy as long as it's going his way, as long as it's doing what he wants. He's fine with it. The only exceptions are, well, sometimes there's some useful third world despot that they want to back up. Also, when things don't go their way on the home front, when people decide differently. And in 2016, with the election of Trump, with Brexit, for the first time ever, the left really blew it. There was a major snafu in its engine room, and it was wonderful to watch, and it's still wonderful to watch. I'm just enjoying it enormously. Yeah, so he just says, yes, exactly. If things don't go his way, so he favours dictatorship, and he says, I want to be explicit. He says, I want to be explicit. This is what he said in this speech, that the will of the people should prevail. Oh yeah. Oh, what? Yeah, indeed. I don't know. They say these things. It's just flannel. I mean, I'll give you an example. All right, just have a look at it. This is a poster that was put up in somebody's window just after the Remain vote won. Do you see what I mean? Read the rules. Advisory, not binding. Oh, and then there was these articles came out. Oh, blimey. Well, there was this ridiculous, bloody petition, which got its way. They got their vote on the second referendum, even though, I mean, there was 4 million people signed it, but about 2.5 million were fraudulent signatures, I believe. something like that. It turned out. David Lammy, who, oh god, he's horrible. There's people like Caroline Lucas. I believe if you live in these people's constituencies, please vote them out next time, for God's sake. Because apparently what they did was they didn't like the result. So what they did was this petition demanded, as these people these shameful people in Oxford. This is where I found that poster. I was just walking through an area where there was mostly Remain voters. Oxford is a large Remain area, and this shameful family put that up in their window, basically saying, and this is what this thing in Parliament was all about. This was last year, which David Lammy was sort of behind. Basically, they don't like the result they got, so they want the rules changed retrospectively. I'm going to try that with the National Lottery. I didn't win. Change the rules. I want my money. What about that football game? You know, where, oh yeah, that's right. There was another petition. I signed a petition actually just after that because there was a football game. England, I think, lost to France. I think it was 2-1. They lost to France in. I think it was in the Euro. It was in the Euro 2016. Okay, there was a petition online, and I signed it saying that there should be a replay. Come on, it's just one little goal. You're not saying that rules should stick because we didn't get the result we wanted. That's how these people think. That's their mindset. That's actually what goes through their head. Oh, I tell you what. Let's just have a quick listen to Blair's speech, shall we? Get your sick bags ready. Okay, right. I'm just going to. I can't watch the whole thing. I mean, it's a bit longer. I've watched the highlights reel. Here it is. Here's the highlights reel. Let's just see what this person, this anus of a man, has to say for himself. So I'll pause at a certain time, putting a few corrections when I feel it is necessary.
I want to be explicit.
No, you don't. You want to lie. You want to prevaricate. You want to try and twist your words to say what you don't mean, to try and make people do what you want them to do, what we wouldn't want to do otherwise. That's what you want to do, Tony.
Yes, the British people voted to leave Europe.
Well, no shit, Einstein.
And I agree the will of the people should prevail.
No, you don't.
I accept right now there is no widespread appetite to rethink.
Do you think? What gave it away, Tony? Was it the fact that, I mean, I haven't found this on, I'll have a look for this on YouTube, right? I bet you it's 95% plus thumbs down. I haven't found, I'll have a look for it in a minute, but let's just continue watching. Oh, here we go. It's alright, it's only a minute and a half. I can't watch the full thing.
But the people voted without knowledge of the terms of Brexit.
Rubbish. We didn't have long enough, actually. I mean, I think Cameron hoped to steamroll it through, so he only gave us 4.5 months notice. But we were continuously beset. We were continuously told of all the things. Both campaigns had their say. This was on every newspaper headline. It was on the radio. It was on TV. It was on all the news programmes. It was all the political talk shows, all the political analytic programmes there were. Okay, we were told what the issue was. We knew what this was about, and it was never. I mean, the thing about the EU, it is actually very, very simple. I mean, there is an in-out situation. It is a binary situation when it comes to EU member states. You're either a member state or you're an independent nation. It's that simple. Now, as we can see, you know, the things such as the common market go along with that. There was never any doubt that we would actually have a half Brexit. This all came up afterwards. This was not even discussed afterwards. I mean, this is crazy. We could have been like Iceland and we could have just got out. I mean, I would say, right, really by rights we could just say sod off. We could say we're leaving and that's it. We would even. I mean, I would have said there should be no referendum. Quite frankly, I would have called for no referendum. Simply I'd have simply said let's just rip up our membership papers and get out, because Britain's entry into the EU was an act of treason. You can't have a referendum on treason. Let us continue.
As these terms become clear, it is their right to change their mind.
No, it's not. You see, he says he believes in democracy. He says this several times, right? He says this is the thing. He believes in democracy. His commitment to democracy, right, is so huge that he wants to ride roughshod over the European Union Referendum Act of 2015, which brought the referendum in the first place, which David Cameron promised in his election manifesto just to head off the UKIP voters. Something he really regrets, I know. The 2016 EU referendum itself, and now the Article 50 Bill of 2017, which was passed so overwhelmingly in the Commons that the Lords won't hardly dare do anything more than tweak it. Because the Lords know very, very well, the House of Lords knows very, very well that it itself is on borrowed time. And that there could easily be, at some point, someone's going to propose a bill to get rid of it. So they wouldn't dare actually they wouldn't actually dare block this bill. They may tweak it a little bit, that's all.
Our mission is to persuade them to do so.
Oh, really? And good luck, Tony. How many of you, right? How many of you? This is the guy who lied, as I said, lied through his teeth throughout his entire prime ministership. He lied to get us into a war, which resulted in countless destruction, enormous amount of destruction. I think it was hundreds of troops, and of course, massive amounts of collateral damage, as I've explained. And the country devastated, and the Islamic State now in control. And now he's telling us he's going to persuade us that we should actually go back on the EU referendum, should we?
What was unfortunately only dim in our sight before the referendum is now in plain sight. The road we're going down is not simply hard Brexit. It is now Brexit at any cost.
Well, I thought that was the idea. I mean, Brexit at any cost. I mean, what are we supposed to pay extra cost for it? I thought the idea is we were going to have Brexit. Well, yeah, let's have it. That's the whole point. It's perfectly simple.
Our challenge is to expose relentlessly what that cost is, to show how the decision was based on imperfect knowledge, which will now become informed.
Male cow excrement, as I just explained, you had your chance. I mean, he did. He made a lot of noise during the referendum. It's the only time I ever saw Blair show any genuine passion in his entire political career. It's the only time he actually seemed to actually mean what he said and believe in something. And he believed that we should stay in the EU, and he was speaking out on behalf of the Ramonas.
Become informed knowledge.
Informed by him, right? He's going to inform us. The knowledge that comes from him is informed. You get it from somewhere else, like fake news, like me. That's not informed. You couldn't make it up.
Calculate in easy to understand ways how proceeding will cause real damage to our country.
Oh yeah, Project Fear. Here we go again. It's always the way, isn't it? Project Fear. Oh, we had all this beforehand. Do you remember? Oh, there's going to be a stock market crash. Yeah, the economist, there's going to be a bloody trade embargo from the EU. Oh, you know, it's lunacy. It's just designed to scare you into submission. Don't believe it. He's lying.
And to build support for finding a way out from the present rush over the cliff's edge.
Cliff's edge. Oh, look, you see, he thinks he's clever using these analogies, doesn't he? We're going over the cliff. It's going to be disastrous. Oh. You know, any economic problems Britain gets as a result of Brexit will be engineered ones. There'll be punishment beatings from the European Central Bank and things like that. Okay, but look, I reckon it's too little, too late for these bastards, because hopefully Marine Le Pen will get in France, and then France will come out. Hopefully she won't piss around with this referendum nonsense. She'll just pull her country out of this treacherous regime, this treacherous empire that it's been tricked into. And that'll be the end of it. Because once France goes, Italy has just changed its constitution, which means it's likely it's going to come out as well. There's a guy called Geert Wilders who will hopefully become Dutch Prime Minister. He'll pull the Netherlands out. What's that going to be left? There'll be Mutti Merkel in Germany. It'll just become Germany, basically. They'll have to change it. The EU will be Germany and a few Eastern European countries, and that'll be it. They won't survive. The EU's not going to survive long enough for us to go through the 2-year Article 50 process. Anyway, carry on, Tony. Persuade me I'm wrong.
I don't know if we can succeed.
You can't.
But I do know we will suffer a rancorous verdict from future generations if we don't try.
But bullshit. And the only rancorous verdict the future generations would have had would be if we actually went along with this toad, this duplicitous globalist scumbag. Don't believe a word of it. Anyway, let's just have a look at YouTube. I'm just going to have a look at YouTube for a moment. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, here we go. Tony Blair urges UK fight against Brexit's cliff edge. And this is the video we're talking about here. And let's have a look. Oh, 961 views, 40 in favour, 73 against. Not quite as much as I hoped. There'll probably be other copies of this online. Basically, I've just added one to it, as you can see. So, bloody good news, I would say. And as you can see, the official speech has just been uploaded at the Open Britain website. I have subscribed to it. You know what they say. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Only 23 views so far. It's only been up for about 20 minutes. Mine is the first downvote. I'm very, very proud of that. But let's just scroll down a little bit and see what happens. I'd like to say something. Comments disabled for this video. Well, that says it all, doesn't it? These new left scumbags, they never allow you to say what you think. Whenever you get these feminists, like in The Guardian, and they're saying how evil white straight males are, it's the same thing. Comments boxes are shut. You never have a debate. You never have a discussion. They try to silence you because they know you're right and they're wrong, and they don't like it because they don't care if what's right or wrong. They care about having their way. That's all. So the moral of this story is the Ramonas they're just a very persistent bunch. They just can't. They're still in the denial stage. And we had the People's Challenge. Do you remember that? Led by Ms. Gina Miller, who well, how would I describe her? Well, I can't really, using language I wish to broadcast. But basically, she set her and a group called the People's Challenge caused the High Court to demand the creation of the Article 50 bill, and it was passed through Parliament. It was a delaying tactic. It didn't work. Now Blair shoved his oar in. So what are they going to do next? I don't know, but I mean, I feel optimistic. I feel like in that Tracy Chapman song, you know, finally the tables are starting to turn. I think that 2016, with the election of Trump, with Brexit, has really, for the first time ever in my life, I feel that we are now on the winning side. We have the advantage. We, the free people of the world, have the advantage. We're not going to go down the path that these globalists want us to go down. And the New World Order basically is in serious trouble. There was some very nasty noises coming from the engine room indeed, for the first time ever, at a very, very fundamental level. And we should celebrate that. We should enjoy it. 2016 was a ride. And if 2017 is half as good as 2016 was, I'm going to be really celebrating. I really am. So let's look forward to Brexit. I reckon it's going to be even sooner than 2 years at this rate. So thank you very much for watching Hapanwo TV. There'll be more to come on VidMe, and also check me out on YouTube at Ben the JR Porter, same username. Thank you for watching. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, stop the New World Order.